live in Iowa and haven't yet hiked around the Loess Hills, it's time you put it on your to-do list. The Loess Hills exist in a narrow band along our western border and were created when glaciers pulverized the land surface into a fine powder and winds swept the stream-carried sediments into towering snowdrift-like piles. These steep and highly eroded hills rise abruptly from the land surface and create some of the most beautiful views in Iowa, rivaled only by the limestone bluffs in the northeast corner of our state. Hitchcock Nature Center is just outside Council Bluffs and is one of the most well cared for parks in Iowa and one of the best spots to experience the Loess Hills. A couple things to note before you drive out. The park has an entrance fee per vehicle, which was $5 at the time of this video, and they only took exact change or check. The other thing is that if you try to go on a nice fall weekend, it can get very crowded. Like, I'm talking cars backed up to get into the park crowded. But don't let these things deter you though. Even when it's busy, once you get out on the trails, people spread out and you'll have a great time. A great place to start your visit is at the Nature Center. It has excellent interpretive centers, bathrooms, water bottle filling spigots, a beautiful covered deck overlooking the Missouri River Valley, and a large tower for hawk viewing and one of the best unobstructed views of the Loess Hills. I think all the trails are excellent here, and you could easily spend a whole weekend exploring them. But for this video, I just wanted to highlight my favorite ones. These could be hiked in an afternoon if you're short on time. Fox Run Ridge is a great trail to start and will give you access to many different paths. It starts at the observation tower and stretches out along an open valley. It climbs up to a large oak and then up to a great view of the valley below. Angel's Escape is a short but steep drop down into the prairie, but affords access to the grassy trails below. From there, I like to take the Compass Trail, Heritage Trail, and Hidden Valley trails to meet up with the Wildwoods Trail. Wildwoods is a nice change of pace from hiking the ridgelines and grasslands. It sends you into a deep wooded valley with excellent scenery. From Wildwoods, Westridge begins with a steep hike up to the top of another ridge. Your reward for the tough incline is one of the most beautiful trails in the entire state. The rest of this trail follows the western edge ridgeline of the Loess Hills, hence the name Westridge, and gives you striking views of the hills themselves, as well as the Missouri River Valley outstretched below. It is an out and back trail, but the views on the way back are just as new and exciting as the way out. You will also pass by some of the backpacking primitive campsites along the way. I can't think of too many remote campsites like this in Iowa, and while you are very close to a heavily used trail, the views alone might be worth it. On your way back from the end of Westridge, Ironwood Trail serves as a nice, although steep connector to get back onto Wildwoods again and continue towards my second favorite trail in the park, Badger Ridge.
Look at how cool this is. So these campsites are cool, but man, they're right on the trail. Wouldn't have much privacy, but I mean, the views are great, so maybe it's worth it.
When I think about the Loess Hills in my mind, I tend to picture my views from Badger Ridge. It's that good, and one could argue it's the quintessential Loess Hills experience. The trail flows up and down a ridgeline that is flanked by forest on the west and prairie to the east. It's this eastern view that allows you to see the hills in all their glory. There's also these really cool spots along the trail with deep cuts eroded into the sides, and it gives you a really up close and personal experience with the actual Loess. It's really, really cool. The Boardwalk is another trail that you should definitely take time to visit. It's a scenic and easy hike and a perfect way to wind down your experience. It's also a great reminder for what our park systems are really about, access to the beauty that nature provides. Often many of our best views and hikes are out of reach for those with mobility issues, and trails like this one help level the playing field so more people can enjoy the life-giving experiences that nature provides. It's clear that the entrance fees at Hitchcock are being put to good use. Well done.